If your coaching business stops making you money the moment you stop working, you don't own a business, you own a job. And let me help you fix that. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build simple systems that free up your time, automate client management, and let your business run on autopilot without needing a big team or complicated tools. Now, I'm Dave J. Crawford. I've helped coaches scale to 7 figures with AI systems and automation that generate consistent revenue and save thousands in wasted time and costs. Now, the first step to building systems that run without you is very simple. You need to map out every repetitive task you do in a week. And I'm talking about everything. So onboarding new clients, sending new messages, checking messages, updating spreadsheets, chasing payments, posting the same links over and over again. If you've done it more than twice this week, it belongs in that list. And I call this the bottleneck map because it shows you exactly where you're still part of the system. When I did this exercise for the first time, it was honestly a little bit painful. I thought I was being productive, but when I actually tracked my time for just 1 week, I realized I spent nearly 10 hours on admin. Not coaching, not creating content, not bringing in new clients, just repetitive admin that didn't move the business forward. And I know I'm not alone with this. A nutrition coach I work with was doing the same thing. She spent almost 2 hours a day copying progress data and checking notes into Google Sheets. That's when we built one simple automation that now updates that sheet automatically while she's at the gym. That one system gave her 10 hours a week back. She now spends time creating content, improving her programs, and creating better client resources. That's really the power of awareness. You can't fix what you can't see. So here's what I recommend. Grab a whiteboard or a blank Google Doc and write down every single task that clogs up your week, big or small. Don't overthink it, just brain dump everything that takes up your time. Once you've got that list, label each task with one of the 3 words: automate, delegate, or eliminate. Automate means you can use software or a system to handle it. Delegate means someone else could do it faster or even better. And eliminate means it's not actually needed anymore. When you're done, you'll probably notice what most coaches do. Around 70% of your workload sits in that automate column. And that's a massive opportunity. Because the moment you know what's slowing you down, you can start freeing yourself from the tasks that keep you stuck in the day-to-day. That's when your business starts to scale, not through more effort, but through clarity. Now, if you want help mapping this out properly, you can book an automation and AI audit below. It's a one-to-one call with myself where we break down your business, identify the biggest bottlenecks, and really create a clear plan for what to automate first. The link is below. Now, once you've mapped everything, the next question is, how do you actually automate it? Now, let's look at the tools and systems that make businesses run like clockwork. The truth is, a client journey is where most coaches lose the most time. Everything from onboarding to payments to check-ins to progress tracking, it's all really manual. And honestly, it doesn't have to be. Think of your business like a train track. Once a client hops on, they should run smoothly from the start to the finish without you constantly checking on, say, the engine. So from station A, the moment they sign up, all the way to station Z. When they complete their program, everything should be connected, predictable, and automatic. But here's what usually happens. A new client joins, you send them a welcome email, then a reminder because they still need the contract, then the onboarding form, then the calendar link for their first call, and you spend the next 30 minutes trying to piece it all together, and by the time you've done, you've already lost momentum. Now, I work with a business coach who had the exact same problem. He was actually scared of taking on more clients. He was doing everything manually, sending welcome emails, chasing contracts, and sharing resources one by one, and using Loom far too much. It worked when he had 3 or 5 or 10 clients, but once he hit 20, 25, 30 clients, it actually turned into chaos. He spent more time managing clients than actually coaching them. So we built an onboarding workflow inside of Go High Level that now fires automatically the second someone makes a payment. The system sends the contract, sends the onboarding form, sends the welcome email, the calendar invite, and even gives them access to his private client training portal. In one click, Everything is handled. Now he saved about 5 hours every single week and never missed a single step again. And this doesn't just work for coaches. I've seen fitness professionals, consultants, and even agency owners build simple flows using tools like Go High Level, Airtable, or Notion, combined with automation platforms like Make, Zapier, or N8N. Now, if you're starting from scratch, just focus on the small wins. Automate your reminder emails, your feedback forms, and maybe your payment receipts. Once those are nailed, then you can add more advanced automations like milestone updates, client progress reports, or reactivation messages for clients who go quiet. And here's the key thing that most people get wrong. Automation doesn't make your business cold. It doesn't take away the human touch. It actually does the opposite. Because when the repetitive stuff runs in the background, you have more time for real conversations, more time to coach, to create, and connect. Every client now gets the same high-touch experience without you typing a single message or chasing the next step. That's when your coaching business can start to feel effortless. Systems take care of the workflow, and you can finally get to focus on the part that actually moves the needle, and that's serving your clients. But even with automation in place, most coaches still feel busy. Why? That's because they're still in the business, not on it. And the final step fixes that. Once your automations are rolling, the next thing you need is visibility, because data is king. If you don't know your numbers, you are literally flying blind. You might feel like your business is moving forward, but without the data, you can't tell if you're actually growing or just staying busy. You should be able to see everything that matters in one place. So leads generated, calls booked, calls showed, calls closed, payments collected, renewals coming up, and everything in between. All of it. And here's why that matters. You can't scale your business if you don't know where your constraints are. Think of your business like a pipeline. If one section's clogged, the whole thing will slow down. Maybe it's your lead flow, or maybe it's your client retention, or maybe it's your payment process. But until you can see it clearly, you're just guessing where the problem is. Now, I worked with another coach who was constantly trying to figure out where her time and money was going. She would spend hours digging through spreadsheets, checking DMs, and cross-referencing Stripe reports just to understand what was happening in her business. So we built her a simple custom dashboard that synced with her CRM, Stripe, and booking data. Nothing fancy, just clean visual data that showed her what she needed to know. Now, every Monday, she opens her dashboard and instantly can see her full business at a glance. She can check how many leads came in, how many calls were booked, her current conversion rate, her churn percentage, her renewals, and her total revenue for the week, month, quarter, and even year. Within the first week of using it, she spotted 3 missed renewals worth over $5,000 that had completely slipped through the cracks. That one insight paid for the entire system. That's the power of visibility. When you can see everything clearly, you stop reacting to problems and just start managing your systems. You go from being a firefighter to being an architect of your business. And it's really like driving a car. If you're guessing your speed, you're going to be constantly stressed. But the second you have a dashboard, everything feels smoother, more predictable, and more control. And when you have that kind of visibility, your business truly starts to run itself. You're no longer chasing issues, you're steering growth.